From your Chapter 14 folder, open the file Chapter 1402 Electrical Lighting Fixtures. There are a variety of ways of placing lighting fixtures in your model, and this reflects the numbers of different ways that they can be placed in real life. Light fittings can be floor mounted, wall mounted, soffit mounted, ceiling mounted, or suspended. But the families themselves are essentially in two groups: level or unhosted families and hosted families. Generally, the hosting that we use in MEP is based on hosting to an object, not specifically a wall, a ceiling, or a floor. And we have to take into consideration things like ceiling tile layouts and coordinating with other services, such as HVAC, sprinklers, security, and sound systems. But in this exercise, we're going to pretend that none of those other systems exist. From your Systems tab, select Lighting Fixture. If the light fitting is a hosted one, then Revit will always default to place on a vertical face. I guess that's a prompt for you to actually take a look and see where it's actually going to go. We could place it on a face, such as the face of a ceiling, but in this exercise, we don't have a ceiling to work with. So we want to place this on a work plane, but the work plane that we're working on is level 1, which means that if we place this light fitting, it will be stuck to the floor. So we need to choose a different plane from which to work on. Let's see what happens if I create a section where I've placed this fitting. If I create a section through the building, scroll in and double click to go to the section, we'll see that here's my level 1 and there's my light fitting. And there does just so happen to be a ceiling in that space. So we could have hosted this fitting on the ceiling. What we could also do is host it to the level 1 plenum. We can do that by selecting the light fitting and clicking on Edit Work Plane. Here we can now select a named work plane, such as level 1 plenum, and click on OK. If we go back to our plan view, we can see that there's no real change in our floor plan, other than the fact that when we select the light fitting, it's now showing up as being hosted on level 1 plenum. Now let's create a lighting layout. With the light fitting selected, we can use the Array tool to create an array of 3 light fittings. We're going to space these 1800 apart and change the array number to 3. Spacing's not that good. So what we can do is select the second light fitting and move it another 600 millimeters. That spacing looks pretty good. Let's repeat that array task. Click on Array. This time we'll go for 2400 and make this array number 6. Not quite enough lights in the room? Change it to 7. This array can make things really flexible. If I decide to change the number in the array and the spacing, we can keep our lighting design quite fluid.